big weekend this weekend for the WNBA. You had the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese Volume 2, which happened in what somebody called on the chat room one time. They called it the what do you call it? The Burning Cross Field House because it's Indiana. That's what they called it. So you had that. You had the WNBA Finals rematch between the Aces and the Liberty that happened in Vegas this past weekend. I just want to stick to strictly basketball this week. I don't want to talk about the political implications of something that was clearly a flagrant foul on Saturday. Damien, what did you think about what we saw this weekend with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark? They beat them twice now. And you can see like kind of the beginning of a rivalry between not beginning because it was in college, but we're seeing it on the grand stage now. What do you think about the basketball that happened in that game this weekend?
I think as far as Indiana, I think they're finally like figuring out like the style that they want to play. I think Caitlin had one of her best games of the season. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Whatever the fuck they played. I think she's just figuring it out, and I think that's what's going on with a lot of the rookies. They had the quick transition from college to the league, and as time goes and more games that get played, I think they're just figuring out, the physicality, where they can make their impact on the game. Angel got in a little bit of foul trouble towards the end, and she was actually getting cooked by Nalissa Smith. She was bodying her. Angel's been on a good run. She had I think 4 or 5 straight double-doubles. She's been hooping. With the Sky, as far as the Sky, I think they're trying to figure out their backcourt. Like their front court is solid. The front court, they got a lot of talent on the front court, but their backcourt is where they're having issues. None of them play defense. None of the guards for the Sky play defense. It's a cone. My girl Diamond DeShields, loved her since high school. Loved her since she actually first signed in North Carolina.
Well, that's why you like her.
I kept my eye on her. Exactly. But I think the injuries have really taken a toll on her career. And Weatherspoon put her on the bench for this last game, and I think that's where she's gonna be best at because she can't withstand that those minutes as a starter. She had multiple knee injuries. She had a tumor on her spine a few years ago where she had to relearn how to walk type shit. And she's just a shell of herself now. Like I said, Maybury, you don't play no defense. Dana Evans is 5'5". So that's where they're going to struggle for the rest of the season. Earlier this season, I said I seen him as a dark horse making the playoffs. Yeah, that's not happening.
So. Yeah. I learned the WNBA playoff format, and I was like, it's just not happening.
Super dead.
It's super dead for them. And I'll say this, and Dante, I want you to get your point off about Teresa Weatherspoon that we talked about in the pre-show. Even though you said it, I still want you to,
definitely.
But this is what I took from it, man. I think you said Angel Reese is still learning. Camila Cardozo still learning. It hasn't even been a month for her yet since she's played. I feel like Angel's biggest thing, she needs to find a post move. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these field goal attempts starting to look like tour dates. She went 14 yesterday. Camilla went 3-15. They got to tighten it up a little bit. But I think you can kind of see the potential of both teams. I think Caitlin Clark really starting to feel it. Take away the slander and, she only had this. She's having bad games. She doesn't know how to fight. She's starting to stack some good games. She's starting to look confident. I think one thing that's been good throughout her entire rookie campaign is the way she's been assisting. She's been getting the ball to where it needs to be. Aaliyah Boston actually looked like she belonged on the court, which from the games I've seen, she's looked like she's been real timid. And I know I'm a new viewer, so I know last year she was rookie of the year, but to me, she ain't been looking like it since. But last night she was aggressive, and I feel like that helped a lot. And then Caitlin Clark was just in her bag, hitting threes and setting up her teammates. It really feels like once the Sky actually get a score, I know Kennedy Carter, she's a good scorer, but she ain't what I mean by score, because somebody almost cussed me out on WNBA Twitter about this. I mean a go-get, a bucket getter, a star. like what Juju Watkins will be when she gets in the WNBA. You need somebody like that so you can have your Twin Towers be more effective, because I don't think they'll ever be, when we look at Angel as like a super offensive player. I mean, maybe I'm off on that, but that's just how I see from what I view with her. But I feel like this is a budding rivalry, and even if you take the off court things, it's bad for, you know, Twitter discussions, but for the NBA, for WNBA, I don't think it's too bad, because it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Larry and Magic thing, a little bit where race plays a factor into when people are gonna watch. You know, as reaching as it was, you had Deadline Hollywood tweeting about it just like what are we doing? Like, the better these teams get, I think the better it's gonna get. Dante, what did you see from the Sky and the Fever this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's like Damien said, when you got two teams that are, you know, spearheaded by rookies, essentially, it's going to take time for them to adjust.
And well, you spelling my name like a Mexican.
It's Damien, nigga.
Yeah. But no, and like when you talked about Aaliyah Boston, I think with the Fever, they're learning to not just try to rely so heavily on Caitlin Clark. Yes, she's great, but they still have a team. You still have the Rookie of the Year from last season on your team. So you're seeing them start to run the offense through her more often during the fourth quarters, as opposed to just having her be a decoy and we try to run everything through Caitlin. For Caitlin Clark, I think she's finally starting to adjust to the speed of the W. Because like we said, you know, they had the NCAA tournament. They graduated. It was like 3 days, and then they went in training camp. So, you know, they haven't really had time to work and to look at things that they need to key on and adjust. And so I think so far what you've seen with both teams being really young, is that adjustments are happening on the fly. And as for what we talked about in the pre-show, it's still early, so I'm going to stall her out. But Teresa Weatherspoon be getting her ass out coached, bro. Like, how many games have you watched them battle back, claw back, playing team ball, team offense? And then whoever was getting the buckets, you take them and sit them down. And now we got to force Mabry to try to score every time down the court. Or it's Kennedy who has to try to score every time down the court. So it speaks to like what you say about needing to score. But I also think, again, that's going to take time with her and her first year with the team, knowing what she has, what she doesn't have, and how she needs to mix it. But like you said, with the backcourt, with Dana and Mabry, Dana and Kennedy, they don't really play together. Like, they never played them together because of the defensive issues. But at the same time, those are probably your two best scorers outside of Mabry. You feel me? That can actually try to get something going. But because the defensive issues are so bad, she refuses to play them together. So that's something they're gonna have to figure out. We know they don't have that draft pick this year, so everybody's saying tank. You can't do that.
And that's what I said too. I just found out about that Mabry shade, but that's real. Arcturus Carnisova's West Side West level of trade.
And it's crazy because the scorer they need was on the team, and Kalia, but she's in Phoenix now doing her thing. So that would have been great.
Killing it, Phoenix.
Yeah,
she
that would have been great.
Last week.
Yeah, so I mean, unless they, which I still think with the talent on the roster, it's going to be tough to do this next year. But I already gave Scott the slogan: we got to be doo-doo for Juju. We got to be doo-doo for Juju. That's what it is, baby. We got to lose out. You feel me? And get that number one pick. So I think with those two, that's really what it is. Two young teams who I think, we talked about the Bird Magic aspect of it, and the fact that the teams are in Chicago and Indiana, two states that often, clash based on personalities and what the people want. It's perfect. Like, we could talk about the negativity and all of that, but like we always say, man, just ignore the idiots and enjoy what's actually going on. Yeah. Like, it's still some nice young hoopers playing, and we could take the race shit out of it. It's good basketball. You feel me? This is good for the W because they've been looking for something like this to bring more eyes on. And those new eyes are now seeing, oh, wait, you got Asia Wilson over here. She cold as fuck. Oh, damn, Stewie over there in New York doing her thing. Sabrina's nice too. Like Kayla McBride up in Minnesota. She's cooking motherfuckers. So, like, you see that it's a lot of talent in this league, and it's such a small number of women in the league playing. And so I think it's all positive at the end of the day. No matter how people try to spin it, it's all positive.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, you said Juju in Chicago would be crazy. First of all, have you said, I don't know if y'all looked at the ticket prices. The Sky didn't found out niggas want to watch them because it's looking like the prices for Sky tickets now for nosebleeds are the tickets you pay for nosebleeds for the Bulls now. Like, so somebody didn't figure it out. Oh, we got a star.
Oh yeah, no, Angel moving the needle is undeniable. No matter how much, like I saw fat folks, Jason Whitlock try to shit on her and say, well, you know, Angel Reese only sold 10,000 tickets in DC. Well, Caitlyn sold it out. It's like, well, yeah, the Mystics only sold 10,000 tickets and they sold it out. So, like, had you had a higher capacity, people come to see Angel. Like, she
also,
moves
it's Indianapolis. There's things to do in Chicago in the summer. Like, I hate to break it to you. It's Indianapolis. Nigga, there's nothing to do there but to watch Angel Reese. They ain't got no baseball team, nigga.
Triple A team.
They got the Fort Wayne Wizards out there, nigga. There ain't nothing to watch in Indiana, nigga. But yeah, and Angel outside. Like I said, I don't think there's a more perfect city for her. Angel went to, you know, they played the game. She was at Chief Keef concert last night. You know what I'm saying? So she out here doing the thing, and the Sky was like, you know, we should charge more.
That paper on this player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.